So I really want to challenge consumers and audiences to think a little bit more and take time to have challenging conversations, to not be afraid to put their opinion out there and to discuss the things that matter.
Look, businesses that are socially conscious, we need more of them, but we have a lot emerging, and Fluff is a great example of that. This is a business that lives and breathes and operates in the beauty industry, an industry that seriously needs a shake-up and an embrace of their impact on the social conscious. This is what Fluff is really taking under its wing and embracing and saying, you know what, we can still operate in the same traditional sphere, but we need to have a very non-traditional or a now traditional way to do that.
My background's in writing, and then I ended up in skincare through writing about beauty, and then became really disengaged and disheartened by the beauty industry, and so decided, F it, I'm going to do something new and something better than what exists, and basically create a beauty brand that discusses what the future of beauty is, and that being way more than makeup. I look at Fluff across sort of a few different areas, and we have our studio, which is really more where people can come in and experience the brand and experience the staff and talk to us about the beauty industry, the advertising industry, retail, like where the industries are going. We have our products, obviously, which we're really trying to create a much better packaging experience for customers, be more sustainable or responsible with our efforts, and the manufacturers we work with and the materials we use, and also our formulations. And then finally, we have sort of the tech side of Fluff, which is the most interesting for me, and our publishing platform and the issues that we write about, and also some cool stuff where we want to merge out tech and product.
How have you navigated that landscape of social media influence when you're dealing with a brand that needs to very carefully protect its identity and its authenticity?
Influential people are like so important. I think that that term has really been abused. We can't deny that like we're all influenced by someone or something. But I really want to put this question out there, particularly to people of influence, is like, what influence do you want to have? When you post something, when you put a message out there as an individual, as a brand, like what are you saying? How do you think that's going to be perceived, especially by younger, more impressionable individuals? And that's something we take really seriously here at Fluff. I think we've always said that we want our brand presence, in particular our social presence, to make girls in particular feel like they want to be themselves, not feel like they want to be anyone else.
Talk to me about your involvement or your alignment with Pause Festival.
I have always been really interested in having conversations in the industry, whether that's the beauty industry, whether that's a design industry, whether that's a tech industry, and I think that in Melbourne or Australia, like we haven't really had good conversations as we could have been having. But obviously Pause Fest is doing something different, and that's what I like. You know, we're doing it, the vehicle is through makeup, like that's how we're having this conversation. And then there's other brands that are doing it through fashion or through other consumer goods. Who
owns the future?
I would say that the future is completely in the hands of the younger generation. I mean, it's always going to be evolving, and it's up to us as companies or as publishers when we speak about content to really listen to that audience and these younger generations that have so much information and content coming at them all the time. So they're really discerning, and they're also really skeptical of what brands are doing. So I think we really need to involve them in the conversation.
What have you learnt from those conversations?
These consumers really want to feel heard. They've felt like most brands are just forcing products down their throat, especially when it comes to beauty and skincare, and they're being told that more is more, or that you are worth more with the more that you put on your face. And that isn't really landing with them anymore. They want brands to pay more attention and tell them that they're worth more than the products that they put on them.
Everybody wants to be heard, but the fact that you have a social responsibility to listen, what do you think that looks like in 10, 20, 30 years from now?
I don't think that we are curing cancer at Fluff, but we really are trying to give greater meaning to the idea of listening or actively listening, and then providing a platform for our audience to actually have a say. And we were like much sort of more of a loose editor role in terms of what we publish and what we allow this audience to talk about. So I think for the future what that means is it places a real big question mark on professional content creators in a way, because we really use our audience for everything across the brand, from writing to imagery to video, and we love that sort of appeal of like rawness and unfinished content, but then we've got to strike a balance because we also need to have some sort of, I guess, thread that ties it all together and feels fluff.
In essence, your audience helps curate your brand's personality and the trajectory of the business?
I mean, we say that our personality is very much we're a mirror, because we reflect what our audience is doing and what they're thinking and what they're saying and conversations they're having with their friends or the activities that they're doing. We're just kind of bringing that into our content, as opposed to it just being like, oh, this is all about fluff and what we think. We really say this is what all of our audience thinks. At the end of the day, like, Fluff is a team of people, like having conversations with other people and seeing what they're into and what they like, and hopefully putting more of that out into the world.